And good morning, everybody. Oh, good afternoon. This is Vinny Miletti with Miletti Law, the strongest name in law. For starters, number one, I want you to go click subscribe on that YouTube channel. Subscribe, hit that red button, so this way you could always be notified whenever new content's being delivered here. Step number two, I want you to go to MilettiLaw.com, www.MilettiLaw.com, www.MilettiLaw.com. Sign up for the newsletter so you can always be in the know. You can never miss when we got more cool, exciting content coming out, answering questions, responding to people, because we got all kinds of things going on. Again, this is Vinny Miletti. I am the founder, owner, partner, Mac Daddy, God King, everything here at Miletti Law. And so this video is just to actually respond. So, questions always come in. Questions come in from a variety of topics and ranges. Many things obviously, you work, you want to work, you want to get paid, but there's some questions that just aren't worth there are some things that just aren't worth the client or potential client's money, right? So meaning like they're not crazy, they're not big billable items. So in those instances, in those instances, what Miletti Law does is we are cool with creating content surrounded by your questions. It's fine. We post it online. We get the SEO benefit anyway, so it's totally cool. So no problems with that. Send questions. More than happy to answer. So as long as they're not crazy, you're not asking for some psychotic nonsense, because then I got to charge you, and then you sign a retainer. But for one of these freebies, here we go. Okay. So here. Question came in the other day. This particular person got a parking ticket at some point. I guess for whatever she lost it, or whatever the case is. It was a ticket from last year, and now the ticket it's never been paid. It went to a judgment. It went into the court, submitted to a collection agency, and now she's concerned because what does she do? She says the credit is shot. So the issue is that ticket. She's not disputing that she didn't get it. But what you just, for whatever reason, it's New York. There's time they put tickets on your car, it flies off your car, flies off the window. It happens a lot. You got these kids that suck and they come and they take their tickets off because they want to be bad with their friends. Whatever. I've done it too as a kid, right? And it's pain in the butt. This is what we do here. It's what happens when you're living in a place that's like this, with overpopulated and there's no morality with the children. So what do you do, right? So now you got this ticket. It fell off your car, let's say, whatever the case is. Went into judgment. You never had any idea that you got a little parking ticket, a little violation, and now it's been over a year. Went to collections, judgment. What do you do? Okay, so it is a process. I actually took notes for this one. So it is a process. All right, so step one, you got to locate the ticket, right? So presumably you were notified, you have the ticket, whatever the case is. You got to actually find the physical ticket or some kind of image if you can, and see if there's any discrepancies, because if there are discrepancies, they'll be thrown out. You could write it back to the court. You would write back onto, what is it, the Finance Bureau, whatever it is, I can't remember off the top of my head, but you would write back to them on the ticket and say, hey, there's all these discrepancies. I just found this now. Sorry for the delay. You'll have to give a reason why you had a delay. It's got to be some kind of reasonable understanding of why it was a delay. You could, I don't know, you could try. I've never had one that has been so long. I've had judgments that's have had a very long time for delay, but whatever. So whatever, just say it fell off the car, whatever, you write in and you try to get it dismissed because there's all kinds of discrepancies and get it released, right? So discrepancies meaning your name is spelled wrong, your license is wrong, the registration is wrong, stuff is wrong there on the ticket. So that's step one, right? So if you can get rid of discrepancies, you could submit to the court, get rid of discrepancies. So what if there are no discrepancies, right? So what if the ticket's legit and there's no discrepancies, and the guy that drafted it was just like a friggin' perfect author of a book and he was able to write your ticket properly? So the second question is it worth paying, right? Because at the end of the day, if it's a $45 ticket, $50 ticket, and you make $200 an hour, $100 an hour, do you give a shit, right? Do you care to pay it? Or let's say, it's a $50 ticket and you make, your job is $40 an hour. You're working 8 hours. What are you making? There's 5 hours at 40 is 200, right? So I don't know, you're making 200, 320 bucks. I don't know, my math is terrible. I'm a lawyer, not a mathematician. But the fact is, you're making $300 a day. Do you care to pay a $45, $50 ticket, right? So if it's worth paying, you pay it. What you would do is you would contact the collection agency, Get everything in writing. Tell them that you are willing to pay whatever. If you have money, you want a payment plan or you want to pay it in full. Get everything in writing because they're all lies. Get everything in writing. Let them send you an email confirming that you're gonna pay it. That they're gonna take off the bad credit report. They're gonna cure it. They're gonna clean your record. So, but get it in writing before you pay anything because I don't trust these people. I've had situations where we've agreed to do all kinds of things and I still had UCC filings everywhere. So not good. So that's the one thing. So if you're okay with it, if it makes sense to pay it, if it makes economic sense, if you make X amount of dollars an hour or X amount of dollars a day and it's a cheap ticket, you maybe want to pay it. Just make sure A, you get it in writing from them what they're going to do, and B, that it's documented and you're going to have to follow up. It usually takes about 30 to 60 days. So set a diary to follow up in 3 months, 90 days to check your credit reports, check everything, make sure that lien, that ding on your account is taken off. Okay. So now what if it's not worth paying? What if it's just like dumb expensive and it's not worth paying and you don't know what to do, right? So let's just say now, whatever, it's just too expensive and you don't want to pay it. In that situation, your ticket's good, right? It's a legitimate ticket. You just don't want to pay it because it's too expensive. You don't really care. The best you're going to do in that situation is you're going to write to the credit agencies. You request your credit reports. I think you get one for free a year from each of the big three ones. What is it? Equifax, Experian. I can't remember the other one. But you have your three main credit agencies. You reach out to each of them. You get your annual free credit report. And you basically document the file. You say where this came from, what your defenses are, why this ticket's not proper, blah, 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 blah. So when, let's say you're ever going for a credit, or you're ever being checked for credit, whatever the case is, they see it in the file, it's responded to, it's there, you send a copy one to each of the agencies, and we move on from there. So that's really all you could do at this point in time. Just document the record so your name is clean. They probably won't take it off. I don't think they'll take it off. You could appeal, but I don't think they'll take anything off, whatever. But here's a caveat to that, though. You don't want to reach out to the collection agency if you don't want to pay it. Because if you reach out to them, now your clock starts again, your 7-year clock. If you don't reach out to them, the credit agency, the collection agency, if you don't reach out to the collection agency, you don't have that conversation. So you would just reach out to the big three credit reporting bureaus. You would write to them directly. I don't know what this is, or I don't know, come up with some story, whatever it is that you feel legitimate with, and submit it and just let it go. What that means is when the company looks into your credit score, sees your response, they may or may not think it's credible. They may or may not care. In 7 years, it gets washed away anyway. In 7 years, it's taken off the records. So that's it. You just have to write your response to the credit reporting bureaus, and you wait 7 year time. And hopefully it falls off. Again, you don't want to reach out to the collection agency because that sets your clock back again. So you only want to reach out to them if you're actually going to pay. I would never recommend getting a lawyer in this situation unless it's a substantial amount of money, because it's just not worth it, not worth your time, not worth your money. There's no reason to pay an attorney, $3,000-$4,000 to respond to this thing when your fee, the money owed might not even be close to that much, right? So that's my spiel. That's my response to this. I will text it to you because I do have your cell phone here from your question, but it will be up on YouTube. It will be, because these freebies, I would like my SEO, my search engine optimization. So at least I get something out of this. All right, everybody. So I hope this was helpful. Now you know what to do if you get tickets and they just get ignored or they fall off your car and you go into collections, and that's all there is to it. So as always, yours in laws, love, and lifts. This is Vinny Malay with Malay Law, the strongest name in law. Questions, you can leave them below in the comments, go on the website. I'm always around. And that's it for now. Have a wonderful day, and I'm signing off.